and welcome if it's your first time. And just a reminder, there is no recording of this for your own personal use. It is intellectual property with Holistically Speaking and Havening. So welcome, Stefan. Welcome, Jen. I see you all in the chat. I'm kind of monitoring the chat and the Zoom right now. Scotland. Wow. Welcome, Melanie. Awesome. That sounds delightful right now. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. South Dakota, great. Hi, Colleen. We'll see how many people we get live today. You just never know. I'm gonna keep letting some folks in the room. And please come on camera if you will. There will be a demonstration. I did not pick anyone for the demo this time because we had so many people that signed up last minute. So if anyone is interested in being a havening demonstration, in addition, we will do a group havening with me facilitating it. But if you're interested in something that you might want to work on and share it, I will be happy to entertain that because I love showing a demonstration. Welcome. If you're just coming in the room, go ahead and just stick it in the chat where you are joining us from. Come on camera if you will. If you're not on camera, I just need to know that you are a real person. I want to make this a safe space. We always make this a safe space. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Teresa. Welcome, welcome. Where are we on time here? And we'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. Can you all see me and hear me okay? Yeah? Yep. Perfect. Perfecto. All right. Here we go. Now I see a group of my peoples. I'm going to stop sharing just for a second. Come on camera if you will. If you are not able to come on camera for whatever reason it might be, please just share in the chat why that is and just let us know you're a real person because, oh my goodness, there are so many bots and craziness happening in the world out there and I do not like it, which is why I have to put the disclaimer up, which I hate doing. Hi, Cheryl. Yay. See, and I love to see your beautiful faces too. Welcome, everyone. This is the intro to Havening. We have some people that are still coming in that signed up, so we'll just give it a couple seconds. And I just want to remind you, let me put this in there. You can see that. Please, no recording of this session. It is proprietary with the Havening Techniques organization, as well as Holistically Speaking, which is my company. And we want to keep it a safe space. So I hate having to say that, but I actually, believe it or not, did have my materials from one of these events repurposed and used, which is not a good thing because it's just not good to take other people's stuff, right? But also it's a safety thing. You know, we're talking sometimes about traumatic encoding and resilience and mental health. And, you know, you just can't have people coming in and repurposing and doing it for a buck, right? So I respect that and I honor that and I hope you will too. So on that note, let's just get started. Welcome, everyone. I'm Hilary Russo. Go ahead and just put in your chat in the chat where you are joining us from. If you are just joining us, I'm going to keep an eye on the chat to see if any new people are coming in. But if you have joined us before, wonderful to see you back. If you are new to the Intro to Havening or any of my Havening events, which I do the Havening Happy Hours, which I've been doing since, goodness, where are we now? It was during the first week of the pandemic. So it was 2020 in March. That was my first Havening Happy Hour online. And I did that just to bring people together and give them a chance to co-regulate and just, you know, we were social distancing and I wanted us to socially connect. So I've been doing those ever since. And then I started doing the Intro to Havenings once I became a trainer of this modality, which we're going to learn about today. We're also going to learn about the importance of the neuroscience of touch. I know I have a couple of Havening practitioners coming in the room as well. well. So I'm excited about that. I always love when my colleagues join us. But for the interest of time, this so you know, and to be authentic, this goes about an hour and a half. This is a little longer than my Havening happy hours because we do also do a demo and I get a little bit into the neuroscience and in the history. And then I have an offering at the end, obviously, just to be transparent. I do have a Havening training coming up. So if anyone is joining this interested in that, this is a really good opportunity to learn a little bit more about Havening and get kind of like a little taste of it before we do a grander version of it, which is in the training. So go ahead and put yourself information about where you're coming from in the chat, and I will just get started at this point. So happy. What's today? Wednesday. Hi, I am Hilary Russo. I am a trauma-informed holistic practitioner and coach, and I am trained in Havening techniques as a practitioner and also a trainer. There's only about 25 of us, I believe, now that are training in this work globally, and only about 1,100 of us that are actual practitioners of this work. If you are in the Havening world and I have not met you yet, or I do know you, go ahead and also put in the chat that you are a Havening practitioner or you are a student of Havening. For the interest of time, we're probably not going to go around the room because we do have a little bit of a bigger group, but just share when you heard about Havening, and I might have a chance to bring you up and just hear your story as well. But if you have a background in Havening, I do love to know that, or how you found out about Havening. So I got into this work as I was already a journalist, a health journalist, and I was doing health and wealth and stories dating back to 9/11 and COVID and many other health crises that kind of created a dysregulated system in my own mind. And I didn't even know what the word dysregulated meant back then. But in that time, I started studying more holistic way of living, and I've always been very familiar with that. But I got certified from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, which is the largest nutrition health coaching school in the world. I was an educator with them as well. And then I took a deep dive and started to get certified in that and fell into the world of Havening, which you'll learn a little bit about today. I have the Holistically Speaking podcast, which is a trauma to triumph stories through health, healing, and humor. And I've covered a lot in the field of transgender medicine and the LGBTQIA plus. We keep adding more to the acronym, but it's important we do because we are representing all, and being an ally, I want to be able to do that. And I was also a host of a show that focused on the transgender medicine and the community. And I'm a former military spouse. So there are a lot of areas where I have been exposed to traumatic encoding and wanted to learn more about it, and really took a deep dive into the neuroscience of touch, which led me to Havening techniques. So to talk a little bit about the neuroscience of touch, this is essential for well-being. And I'm sure you've heard about this before, or you have an understanding about it. But, by using touch, it does activate an area, what we call the C tactile fibers. When you touch something or feel something, we emote from it, and that can actually promote the parasympathetic nervous system if it's something that is comforting or feels safe. Imagine being put into the arms of your caregiver when you're first born. They do that because that oxytocin hit is so important when they put the child on the parent's chest or the caregiver's chest. Just a good hug. Think about the last time you had a hug. It's one of the reasons why I created the Hug It Out method, which is not just Havening. Havening is just one piece of it. But in order to hug it out is something that we do when we are embracing something that reminds us that we're safe, and being in a regulated mindset rather than a dysregulated mindset. But in doing so, touch also reduces cortisol, and it can boost serotonin and dopamine and oxytocin, like I said, and create that space of emotional safety. And it's really, that's what it's all about, is the chance to feel safe, the place in our environment to feel safe. And it doesn't necessarily mean a place, like an actual physical place, but it can. Think about in your own mind the things that bring you a sense of safety. I'm sure having a safe car to drive is emotional safety and physical safety. Having people around you that you care about and care about you as well, and a home that feels safe, or a city or a town that you live in that feels safe. These are all safety areas of connection, right? And when you think about it, just a tender hand on your shoulder or a touch of the hand and in one and the other, or just, head to head, which I remember learning about when I was in New Zealand this past November for the Havening conference. There are different ways that we express safety through touch. And that bottom right picture is actually the first picture ever taken of me with my grandmother actually putting her hand right on me in the bassinet. So there are different ways that we can create connection and safety, and touch is definitely one of them. But one area, the reason why I bring this up and the impact is that we are living in a very dysregulated world right now, no matter where you are, whether there are upsets and atrocities happening in different areas of the world, we're exposed to it because we witness it, because we live in the digital age. And if you're working in a field where you're being of service, whether you're a first responder or a coach or a doctor or a kind of practitioner, a counselor, or a teacher, or even a parent, it can have a professional impact on you because of many of these caregiving professions, just focusing on professions, that can create a sense of burnout and exposure to other people's trauma, which we call secondary traumatic stress or vicarious trauma or compassion fatigue. A lot of times we go home and we think, oh, I'm just tired, I'm overwhelmed, I didn't get enough sleep. And it could very well be that your nervous system, especially that amygdala, that part of your brain that's designed just for safety, is reacting to a situation outside of your own, thinking it is theirs, it is yours. And that can create a very dysregulated system, right? So, how can it affect you personally is that you could start disconnecting not only from your colleagues and people around you, but at home. And that exhaustion is real. There's irritability, irresponsibility. You make rash decisions, poor judgment, and indecisiveness. All of this can really happen when we are coming from that dysregulated place, especially with secondary traumatic stress. So, what do we do to create that safe place? And if we notice here, the word safe haven or safe place is a part of what havening is. If you've thought about it, that haven means a safe place, right? It's a place or an activity that provides people an opportunity to escape from things that are unpleasant or worrying. So if there's an unsafe place around us, and like with those signs I just showed you, which you might have seen before, maybe you saw one posted at a hospital or a restaurant or a police station. They're very common signs to see for people to know if they see those signs, it's a place that's a safe haven that they could go, right? But these things are outside of ourself. How do we create a safe haven here so that our amygdala feels safe and our nervous system feels safe? That's really the key. So when you think about it, havening techniques, havening is a transitive verb for the word haven, a safe place here. And what it is it's a psychosensory technique. And by that, I mean it's a technique that uses primarily the sense of touch, although many times we can use all five senses because if you're using havening in your practice, if you're certified or you're studying to become a havening practitioner, or even if you are just learning how the different senses can support you in different ways with your nervous system, havening uses the sense of touch. It's designed to change the brain. And it also can reduce the encoding of trauma and when it's used correctly and when you're working with a certified practitioner. But it's not just the touch itself. What makes it a technique is that you're pairing it with something that's positive in your life or a pleasant distraction. And that could be anything. That could be singing a song. It could be just closing your eyes. And if you're able to visualize well, count to 20 or take yourself to that place in your mind that brings you peace and calm. We can take our amygdala on a vacation whenever we want to. Instead of it being in charge of how we feel, we can have a better partnership with our brain and our nervous system to take it where we want to go. But it takes work. And the more we do that, the more we partner with our nervous system and realize that it is a partnership, the more that we create partnership in our own bodies and our minds. And when we do that, it also can create this neurochemical charge in the brain and build either a sense of resilience and going forward and creating a growth mindset, or when you're dealing with deeper upsets or traumatic encoding, havening does have the ability to de-encode trauma, or what we used to call it was amygdala depotentiation. That was the original name of havening back in the day, which depotentiate really means to weaken. So you're weakening that response with the neurons and the synapse between the thalamus and the amygdala, which are those two big players in your nervous system and your mindset. So we can't talk about havening without talking about these two gentlemen. This is Dr. Ron and Dr. Steve Rudin. Dr. Ron in the red glasses is a Harvard-trained internist, and his twin brother, if they look familiar, is a dental surgeon, both very well known in their fields. They really are the fathers of havening, and I'm so grateful to say they're also mentors in my life because they're the ones that I've trained with personally. You know, before everything really went online, living in New York where the doctors were, we met up constantly and we had meetups. And I've been very fortunate to travel with them, to do the conferences, to MC last year's conference, even in New Zealand, and be in the room with greatness because these two gentlemen realize that, you know, there is a way to feel safe in your body. And if anyone has been to the doctor or the dentist, and I'm someone who has dealt with dental trauma myself from having major TMJ surgery when I was 15, sometimes it's scary to go to the doctor. And what these two realized over time was that there are ways to create a safe space by doing the research, by studying. And it actually started with Dr. Ron in the red glasses on the left having a conversation with this gentleman who might look very familiar to you because I feel like he is all over the internet lately, especially with his Mind Valley program. This is Paul McKenna. He is a very well-known hypnotherapist in across the pond in the UK, but also very well-known in general. And he basically had that conversation with the doctors that then brought it to mind. And we discuss more of this in the actual havening history in the training. But when Paul and Ron came together, they were talking about the different ways that, you know, we can use touch and respond with the neuroscience of touch and how it can create an electrochemical response in the brain and the body to actually create safety, because that's really what we want to do. Welcome to those who are new to the group. I know we have a couple new people that just came in. Just introduce yourselves if you will, and we'll continue on. But so far, just sharing a little bit about the history. I'm just reading the comments real quick. You're certified as a hypnotherapist with Paul McKenna. I love that, Teresa. I get a lot of people that actually come to my trainings. And when I ask them, hey, where'd you hear about havening? A lot of times they'll say, well, I saw the Mind Valley and Paul McKenna did like a brief little havening thing during his, you know, Bliss program or the hypnotherapy program. And he's really such an amazing advocate for havening, even though it was really developed by the doctors. It really was such a beautiful friendship. And being able to be in the room with him, I imagine, was amazing. So I'm so glad. And we do have a lot of hypnotherapists that actually, including myself, that are also havening practitioners because we find there's such a beautiful complement to havening and NLP, havening and hypnotherapy, havening and many other complementary alternative approaches because it is a CAM, it's a complementary alternative medicine. So, you know, I love that. Thank you, Teresa. If anybody else has experienced Paul McKenna's work, I'd love to know about it in the chat. I like to give him a shout out because he's such an advocate for the work we do. So that's great. And if you do any other modalities, stick it in the chat as well. I'd love to know about that as well. All right, let's get back to it. What were we talking about? We were talking about Paul. All right, so Paul McKenna, this is actually when I met him when I was just certified myself back in 2018, 2019. We had our conference in London and he was there presenting, and it was really wonderful to be in the space with him. But you know, when we talk about havening, one of the things we do talk about, as I mentioned, it's psychosensory, meaning that it uses the senses to affect our well-being, right? And there's many types of psychosensory approaches. Many of you might be using some of them in your own practice already. If you're an NLP practitioner, or maybe thought field therapy, which is a big part of how havening was created, or even EFT and tapping or EMDR. And then, of course, we have our non-specifics, which are yoga, music, aromatherapy, oils, acupuncture, massage. These are non-specific to the psychosensory approaches. But of course, we also have others that we use. Some of you who might be doctors or practitioners and have worked in the field of psychopharmacology, we know that medication can sometimes be helpful, or even psychotherapy for those of you who might be therapists in the group. All of these are different types of the pillars that are helping us in well-being. But how beautiful is it to know that we have psychosensory approaches where we bring agency back to those that we are partnering with, our clients, right? Or those we serve, or even ourselves, because it's so important that we're regulated. That one thing I focus on when I'm doing my trainings, or even when I am speaking or doing conferences, I always mention to people our own regulation is so important, because if you are in a field where you are serving others, it's very easy to become dysregulated if you're not partnering with your nervous system and your amygdala to let it know this isn't mine. I don't own this. And you're not taking it in as being your own, right? Having the ability to do that. So I mentioned a little bit about how havening involves the touch, right? And we can all do this together real quick before I go on to the slide. Havening is simple. It's like you are washing your hands. Let me make that bigger. Washing your hands, or gently stroking your arms from your shoulders to your elbows with your thumbs in, or even touching your face. And any of these three touches, and if you try it this way, it feels a little different. It almost feels like somebody's doing it to you, if that's a safe response, right? But any of all these touches, and then when you pair that with the pleasant thought or positive thought or pleasant distraction, which could really be, if you're not able to visualize well, you can look outside and count the birds in the trees or the cars going by, or soft gaze somewhere. It's wonderful to be able to visualize, but it's not always possible. And it could be as simple as that, or just something that pulls you away from the upset. But then what happens is you're releasing oxytocin, like I mentioned, serotonin, dopamine, GABA, but you're also producing more delta waves. And just to bring us back to that, where I was talking about with the delta waves, this is brainwaves, right? And we have a number of different levels of brainwave activity that's measured in hertz. A lot of times we're living in beta and gamma, right? Where you're like focused on something, or we're concentrating, or we're thinking, or maybe we are working out and we're in peak performance. We're usually in gamma and beta. Once we move down to alpha, we're in a more meditative place, or creativity, feeling a little more relaxed. I mean, this is a good place to be. And then we just start getting slower and slower. And the beauty of the work we're doing in havening is that you tend to produce more delta waves. Once you start doing the havening and doing the techniques, and there are 7 different protocols to havening. You might see some stuff online, which is maybe one or two of the different protocols, but it's pretty self-regulating. But there are actually 7 different protocols. And once you are doing that, you are producing more delta and less of the gamma. And I call it delta wave deliciousness, because who wouldn't want to create more deep restorative sleep state, like that transcendent state? That's really what is happening with havening, is that you're producing more of those beautiful delta waves just from the C-tactile fibers touching the skin and actually producing that state of calm and safety, right? So why does havening work? Well, as I mentioned, you're producing more of those deep sleep state delta waves. It's promoting neuroplasticity, which is basically creating new neural networks in your brain. And I guess the best way to think about it is, if you're on a trail and you're used to going this trail on the left side, because this trail, this highway, this byway is something that you're so used to that it becomes a conditioned response. And you might actually be on this little trail and you're going this way and you see a sign that says falling rock, caution. And maybe you see a lot of tracks, like a lot of walking has been going on there. And then you see this way, and it's not very heavily traveled. In fact, maybe it's covered with leaves, and you're like, I think there's a trail there. I'm not sure. But in ahead of you, you might see a big rainbow, and you're like, or a waterfall. Now, it could look pleasing, but it's uncertainty. You haven't been that trail. You are more likely to go this trail. But when you start incorporating techniques like havening, you start creating new neural pathways where you might take that trail and be comfortable standing on the edge of uncertainty and try something new. And then the more you do it, the more neural pathways you're creating to create a more safe space on this direction. So you're putting yourself more in a parasympathetic nervous system state. We live pretty much in sympathetic. It would be amazing if we were living more in a parasympathetic, but it's really up to us. It's back to that partnership. And in doing so, why havening works, again, you're releasing the oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, GABA, and you're calming our little friend Amy, the amygdala, creating that beautiful safe haven, reminding the amygdala that it's okay, you're safe, you're not in danger. Because Amy loves to be in like worry wart mode. And that's great because that's what the brain is designed to do. That part of your brain is designed to keep you out of danger. If it wasn't doing that, we would have been taken out by saber-toothed tigers a long time ago when we went up to one of them and said, this would make a cute pet. But we didn't do that. And we're fortunate because we have a brain that works correctly, right? So it's helping you depotentiate or weaken those traumatic memories as well. And it can also build a resilient mindset. So it can be used different ways when it's used correctly and when you have, when you know how to use it well. But the beauty of this work is that something that the doctors always say is that we don't own it. You have the ability to create agency whenever you need and want. And that's really what the whole purpose of havening is that, yes, you can get help and have somebody facilitate havening on you, like you see in the far left picture. You can do what we're going to do today, where virtually somebody's facilitating the session and you're self-havening while you're in partnership with somebody supporting you. And then, of course, what we always want is people to feel that sense of agency where they can do it anytime, anywhere on the everyday upsets that happen, because life is full of everyday upsets. I wouldn't say do it when you're dealing with a deeper rooted trauma. We should always be supported in trauma work, or even when you're needing a little extra support. But to be able to self-regulate on the daily is a beautiful thing. And I think about the fact that how amazing would it be, and is it, as we see more schools even incorporating havening, to see more children regulating their nervous system to become well-rounded adults that understand what that means. And I feel very fortunate because in a couple of weeks, I'll actually be at the Fred Rogers Institute, Mr. Rogers neighborhood, and I'll be sharing havening with educators, facilitators, leaders, people in the social emotional learning space, because I want them to be able to learn about havening and how to hug it out with themselves and teach their children to do the same. How beautiful is it if more children have that tool? So as we see here, we have the applications of the field of havening, which is facilitating it on someone, virtually doing it where we're facilitating self-havening, and then self-havening, which you could do anytime. But just to show you how it works, this is Jessie. She is now in training to become a havening practitioner. And this is how you would do it on somebody if you are actually a havening practitioner, right? It could be hands, arms, face, shoulders, of course, always with consent, but just to show you that there is a way of actually facilitating it on someone if they are in consent and want you to do it that way. So at this point, I would love to share a havening demo with someone. Would anybody be open to being a demonstration? And just, if you have something small that's coming up that you might want to work through, we can do a short havening just so people can see how it works. And I'm not talking about anything traumatic. This is just for folks that gives you an opportunity to just see what it's like to have havening done, or maybe you've had it done before, where I will just do a short havening demo. And you can bring something up that's, you don't even have to share what it is, by the way. Havening is really beautiful because it can be completely content free. You can come into a session with me or work with me and say, you know what? I've had a day. I don't want to talk about it. And I'd love to just do a little havening. And I'd be like, I got you. Let's do it. That's the beauty of it, which makes it a little different from something like talk therapy, because sometimes we're having to talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. This gives you an opportunity, and the person you're serving an opportunity to just be present and go within. And I see we do have a volunteer. Okay. And again, this is nothing that's major. This is just going to be something that might be irking you during the day. And can you come on camera, Anne? Because in order to be able to do it with you, you need to be on camera. Are you able to do that? It would be difficult to do it if you're not on camera. And have you actually unmute? And are you still open to doing it or?
Yeah, I'm still open.
Okay. Probably need to turn off something because we're getting a feedback with you.
The video.
I'm hearing feedback, so it would not work if there is some type of feedback like that.
Well, why don't you get somebody else?
I'm going to do that. Would anybody else like to volunteer? Stefan? Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, my friend. So what I'm going to do in this moment, and just a reminder, no recording of this. I do want to just stress that up because we did have a couple people that came in a little later. This is proprietary. I also want to create a safe space. I will share it with those who register if they ask for it, but it's only available for 48 hours. All right, so Stefan, I'm going to bring you up and spotlight you. Thank you for volunteering. And then I have to bring myself
Thank
up.
you.
So
And
give me
no echo, I hope.
no echo. Just let me bring myself up real quick and then we will do this. Hold on one second. Add to spotlight. Okay, so you can see the two of us, everybody. Yeah, perfect. Amazing. Hi, Stefan. How are you?
I am fine right now.
Wonderful. So I'm going to share a little bit about how this would work because I want to be very mindful of you and your time. But to do a demo, we're not going into deep trauma. This is just something that might be coming up for you that's upsetting. You don't even have to share what it is. I mean, it could be as simple as I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed. All I need to know is there something on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being very upsetting, to 0 being not bothering you at all? Is there something that's kind of in the middle, like maybe a 4 or 5, that might be coming up for you?
Well, I would like to mention that there is something that is constantly there, that some kind of pain that and I have tried lots of methods to just feel it and trying tapping and things like that, and it's still there, and it's kind of annoying, but I'm not sure really what it is. It feels like some kind of resistance or something.
Okay, so I hear the words annoying and resistance. Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
All right.
it takes lots of energy to just keep the balance there so I can function in the world.
And on a number scale, where would you put it? With 0 being it's not annoying or resisting at all, and 10 is it's very annoying. Are you somewhere in the middle?
Do you mean right now or at its
Yeah.
worst?
Right now? Let's say if you were to say right now, what is it?
I would say 4 or 5.
Okay. Now, if you bring it to mind at its worst, what is it?
I think it's about an 8.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Where is this annoyance and resistance? Where do you feel it in your body?
Mostly in the stomach.
In the stomach. Okay.
Sometimes also a little in the chest.
Okay. All right. And I don't even need to know what it is. Know that you're in a safe place. You know
No,
what it is.
I don't even know what it is. I would really like to know because I see that it's not serving me in any way.
Understood.
But I understand that it's there for a reason.
I like that. It's there for a reason. There's a lesson that you're learning from it, but you're building a partnership with your body and your brain. So,
Yep.
Have you done havening before?
No, never. I
Okay.
just heard of it, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and now I found this event, and it was magic because it was the same day. So I thought, okay, just sign up and see what
Wonderful.
happens.
Glad to have you here. And let me ask you a couple other questions just so we can support you in the best way possible. Are you a good visualizer? Do you visualize well? When you close your eyes, can
I
you
think
take?
so.
Okay, wonderful. All right. And do you see vividly in color? Are you able to see color well?
I haven't thought about it that way. I think so.
Okay. Counting okay with you? Doing the alphabet, those kind of things okay with you? Do they
Yep.
did Okay. Some people don't like numbers, so I'm always very mindful of that. I don't like to do
Oh, okay.
numbers. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to invite you to do, if you're comfortable with it, are you comfortable closing your eyes when I share with you to do so? Are you
Yes,
comfortable
sure.
being? Okay. So remember what the havening touch is, right? It's like you're washing your hands, right? Or giving yourself a gentle hug from your shoulders down to your elbows,
Yeah.
or even gently on your face.
Mm.
Any or all three of these touches. And for anybody that's watching, I suggest, go ahead and do a little havening while we're doing this as well, especially if something comes up that might be a little triggering. We tried not to do too much traumatic work, but sometimes things do come up. But feel comfortable havening just to get into the mode of doing that. And that's just to those who are watching. All right. So, Stefan, what I would like for you to do is just take a couple deep breaths. And what you're going to do once you start havening is you're going to continue to haven during the entire thing until I share with you, you can stop havening now, okay? So just take a couple of deep breaths before you even haven, whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe a deep 4 breath, hold it for 4, release for 4, hold it for 4, just box breathing. Just getting yourself in a comfortable state. Maybe even putting your hands in the areas where you said you're feeling the most amount of tension, which could be in your chest or your tummy. Just being present and aware of your body, okay?
Mm.
Give yourself permission to do that. And know that that resistance and that uncomfortable feeling that you have, that annoyance, just give it give it a little attention and let it know I hear you and see you. The whole idea about havening is not that we're sweeping something under the rug. It's that you bring awareness to it, but we just don't stay in it. Like some modalities, we stay in it until we work through it. This is more like you're taking it, you're putting it over here, you're cradling it and saying, okay, we're going to take ourselves somewhere else right now. But I'm still aware that you exist, right? I would never be asking anyone to get rid of anything because that's part of who we are, right? Like you said, you're learning from it. So
So,
with
so,
that
so
being,
I mean, just kind of observing it.
you're observing it, you're witnessing it, and you're okay with the fact that there's this little annoyance there and there's this resistance. And like you said, you're just trying to figure out what it is. Do you figure it out in just this little session? I don't know, but at least you're more aware, and awareness is the first step to change, if that makes sense. Yeah. So
Mm.
what I'd like for you to do in this moment is just to start the havening touch. Okay. And you're going to continue doing this touch as I walk you through this demo.
With my eyes open or closed.
Are you comfortable closing your eyes?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and close your eyes. I love when people do that because they can take themselves on their own little vacation. Okay. And then what I invite you to do is if you can just imagine that you are standing in front of a mirror for a moment with your eyes shut, seeing that mirror, we're just going to do a quick body awareness. And just imagine from the crown of your head that there is a really comfortable and safe light or aura that's around us, or around you, rather. This is your aura. This is your energy. This is not woo woo. This is the energy that we put out there every day. So, what color would that be for you? What's a safe color? You don't even need to tell me. I just want you to witness it. And just imagine that color of whatever that safe color is, starting at the crown of your head. In the mirror, you see it moving down your cheeks and your jaw, lowering your shoulder, relaxing your jaw, maybe even seeing that color moving down the back of your spine. And as it moves down the front of your body, maybe it's even just giving a little extra attention and a hug to that area that you said was a little disrupted, which is the chest or even the stomach. Allow that color to give a little extra attention to that, like a warm hug. And imagine that color moving all the way down your arms, out your fingertips, down your hips, all the way down the front and back of your legs, to your ankles, to your feet. And just as you're looking in that mirror, witnessing yourself, know that you're grounded. Know that you're part of the ecosystem and the highways and the byways, and everything that you need is exactly where you are right now. And just take a deep breath and release. And then what I invite you to do is to step away from that mirror and find yourself in front of a door, or maybe it's a window or some kind of threshold where on the other side is a place that just brings you ultimate peace and calm and joy, wherever that might be. It could be somewhere you've been on vacation. It could be somewhere you love to go. It could actually be a favorite room in your home if you want it to be. It could be fictitious too. Just find a place that brings you peace and calm and joy and see it on the other side of that threshold. You're not there yet, but you're witness to it. Can you see something?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, it just appeared my front door, the inside of
Oh,
it. So I will
lovely.
just go with that.
Wonderful. Whatever's comfortable to you. Just know that on the other side of that door is a place that you feel safe and peace and calm and joy and just a respite in a way. Okay. And then what I invite you to do is I'm going to count down from 3. And when I get to 1, I want you to step across that threshold into that space, almost like a, I'm here, right? That's the feeling that can kind of come over you when you're in that space where you feel that safety, that calmness, where everything is just peachy keen, as we say here in the States. Okay. So just take a deep breath. And then on 3, 2, and 1, step across that threshold into that space and just give yourself a moment to look around wherever you are, whatever's there that brings you a sense
It's
of,
kind of like the door is stuck.
oh, is the door stuck? Okay. All right. So let's do something else before you go through the door. Are you comfortable just saying the alphabet out loud?
Yes, sure.
So go ahead and just say the alphabet.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Perfect. Are you comfortable counting backwards?
Yeah,
Okay. So what I'm going to do is, can you count backwards from 100 by twos?
yeah. 100, 98, 96, 94, 92, 90, 88, 86, 84, 82, 80, 78, 76, 74, 72, 70, 68, 66, 64, 62, 60, 58, 56, 50, oops,
That's okay.
50, 54, 52, 50, 48, 46, 44, 42, 40, 38, 36, 34, 32, 30, 28, 20, 26, 24, 22, 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0.
Perfect. You passed.
Unless you want the negative numbers too.
Oh, okay. Show off.
No.
How is the door now? Is it creating a space where you feel like you can walk through?
I completely forgot about the door.
Oh, did you
Uh,
now? Right. And maybe there's not a door. Maybe it's just an open space that you feel comfortable. Is there something or a place where you can go that feels peaceful and calming and joyful?
it's like I was moved away from the door about a yard.
You're in a yard. You're in a yard?
No, about a meter.
In
I,
what?
I was I was
Oh, a
moved
yard.
backwards
Okay,
from
I
it.
got you. Okay, so maybe we're not going through a door right now. Maybe we're just going to continue doing a couple other
And
ways.
I'm not sure exactly why I was put there, but because this door normally is a little stuck, especially when it's moist outside. You have to push to get through
Ah,
it.
okay.
I usually just go with what comes to me. So,
Perfect.
so
I love
I
that.
think there is a reason why the door is there and why it's kind of stuck.
Okay.
Bec-
All right. Well,
It's like something is afraid to see what's on the other side of the door.
not a
Might
problem.
be.
Maybe, or maybe we don't have to go through any door at this moment, right?
Okay.
But just that's an awareness. Um, would you feel comfortable doing the months of the year? And are you comfortable spelling?
Spelling the months of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I am not sure exactly why, but okay.
Okay. So
Uh,
just start with January. How would you spell January?
January, January, February, March, June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
Great. Wow. Impressed. Take a deep breath. And what's a word coming to mind for you right now? A feeling or emotion? What are you feeling right now? Don't think too much about it.
No, I'm just filling in what it is, and I can't put a word on it. I think puzzled is something similar to that. Not perfect, but something is wondering, where is this going?
You're a deep thinker, I could tell.
Yep.
A processor. You're a processor. That's okay.
Yep.
That's all right. And where would you think you are on that number scale now? With zero being just more at ease, feeling more connected to yourself, and 10 being not at all. Before you mentioned you were at like a 4 or 5. Where are you now?
I'm just trying to figure out, because there's these new emotions that came up, and the old one.
And what is what is that emotion?
This is that is kind of puzzled what's going on.
Oh, puzzled. Okay, puzzled. I hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you put a number to puzzled?
But okay, the other one is more. I would say about the free.
Free?
Yeah.
Free, that's a good word. And where are you on the number
No,
scale?
no, free. The number free.
Oh, 3. Great. Okay,
Yep.
great. So,
sorry, I'm from Sweden, and I'm
I
not perfect in
understand.
English.
You're doing beautifully. You're doing absolutely beautifully. So you're at a 3 and a little puzzled. Okay, understand that. Are you comfortable just saying the word puzzled? Puzzled.
Puzzled.
Just keep saying the word puzzled.
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 Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. Puzzled. And I can notice that my mind is going thinking all the time while I'm saying this.
Right. Of course. So what we're doing is we're transpiring the word out, because it's just a word. Puzzled is just a word, right? We give meaning to words, right? So if you're puzzled, imagine saying puzzled like you're, a cartoon character. Like, can you say puzzled in a high-pitched voice?
Puzzled. 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 Puzzled.
Also in a very low voice.
Puzzled. Puzzled. Are you adding NLP to this? I've been studying that from many years ago.
You what?
So I'm recognizing little of what's going on.
Right. And how does it feel when you say the word like that? Like, how is it impacting you?
Um, Not really. I just see the
Yeah,
wine submodality,
right.
which
It's
is what
just
it is.
it's just a word, right? It's
Yep.
just a word. Yeah. So what I ask you to do is just take a deep breath and release. And what would you say the word that's opposite of puzzled? What would you like to feel, basically? How would you like to feel?
Well, the mind says clear, but I think there's something even better here.
Oh,
That word is still.
still. That's how you'd like
Yep.
to feel?
Especially in the mind.
Yeah. And are you still about a 3 right now, or are you, where is your number? Just getting a checking in on you.
I think it is a three still.
Okay. So let me ask you this. You said you want to feel still. So I'm going to invite you to say this statement. What if I'm still? And just keep saying, what if I'm still? What if I'm
What
still?
if what if I'm still? What if I'm still? What if I am still?
And like
What if I am still?
inflect. Like, what if I'm still? Like, change it. Like, what if I'm still? What if I'm still? Change the inflection, not just say the words, like, really gravitate to it. Like, what if I'm still? How would that feel? Right? What if I'm still?
What if I'm still? What if I'm still? What if I am still? What if I am still? What if I am still? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, just like whatever feels comfortable to you. Like, what if I'm still? Like, sit with that for a moment. What does it feel like to be still? How would it feel in your body and your mind to be still?
Another sentence comes here,
Okay,
which is,
go for it.
uh, "How would I be if I was still?" Or
How would I be?
who would I be if I was still?
Go for it. Say that out loud.
Who am I if I'm still? Who am I when I am still? Who am I when I'm still? Who am I when I'm still? And then also comes, who am I when I'm not thinking? Who am I when I'm not thinking? And then who am I?
Yeah. What about
Who am I?
if who am I when I am still or not putting too much thought into things? If that feels good, what about changing that statement to I choose to be still? I choose stillness. I choose still.
I choose stillness. 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 I choose to be still.
Mm.
I choose to be stillness. That was a deep one.
Yeah. I choose to be stillness. Sit with that for a moment. If that feels comfortable to you, and if you're comfortable,
There's some
what
there's some truth in that. It resonates with me. I choose to be stillness
I choose to be stillness.
because when I'm stillness, then there is no problem.
Yeah. Just let that stick for a second. And if that is true, if that is a statement you feel is true, are you comfortable with I am still?
Yes, I'm very comfortable with that. It's more like the next step seems to be I am stillness
Yeah.
because when I am stillness, then I automatically still too.
Yeah.
I
So
have no
I am
choice.
beautiful. So what if you say out loud, I am stillness or I am still? And just
I
let
am
that really
stillness. Yeah, I am stillness. It resonates much more.
beautiful.
I am stillness.
Mm.
And I think it's because I am still is something I'm doing or trying to, but I am stillness. That is, there's
You're
not
just
trying
being.
in that.
You're just being.
Yes, exactly.
You're just being.
I'm not doing anything. I
Yeah,
just
we're
am.
human beings before we're human doings, right? Beautiful. So just taking that into account in this moment, I am stillness, knowing that you're being and you're in the stillness. Breathe into that. And then when you think of a new number, where are you on that scale now? Are you closer to a lower number of stillness? If you are feeling stillness, are you a 0 or a 1? If you are not in any stillness, are you way up there on the scale? Where are you now?
I can notice it's still there.
That's okay. Remember, it's not about
My,
getting
my,
rid
my,
of
my,
anything.
and when I'm focusing it, I can feel it's probably still a 3.
That's okay. And like where you can go with this, because the idea is not to make it a 0. You're not being graded on anything. It's just knowing you have the ability to downregulate your nervous system. And if you were to bring in awareness, just out of curiosity, back to where we were when we started with the annoyance and the resistance, how connected are you to that now?
Well, I can see the annoyance is there, but when I'm stillness, it's not me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's just an emotion.
that's right. It's just an emotion. And you have the ability to choose, right? So choosing stillness seems to be something that was desirable to you. Beautiful. Just take a deep breath. Just, I am stillness.
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 Breathe in stillness and breathe out stillness. And maybe imagine the letters going in through your lungs and permeating your cells, the stillness, the stillness. Just imagine stillness going in and breathing out more stillness. That you have the capacity and the ability to choose.
Okay, somehow I see that I have been trying to hold on to stillness, but what you are now suggesting is that I release that too. So I just let it move through me.
Yeah. You can release whatever you want. If you choose that stillness is no longer part of what is working for you, you absolutely can release it. But if stillness brings you presence and peace of mind, and you like being in that state, you can release something and it can still come back to you. Life is cyclical. It
Mm?
depends on how we choose, right?
But I mean, I think I have been trying to hold on it like a thing that I
Mm,
want to hold rather
right.
than just let it flow through me
Right.
and not worry about where it goes.
There's a very interesting thought I think that you just brought up is that a lot of times we hold on to things and the art of
And hold
letting,
on to emotions too.
yeah, and the art of letting go, the deepest form of surrender actually allows things to come more into our space. When we crowd things out that are not serving us, it makes room for things that can. When we let go of things, like we hold on to things so dearly because we want something, the desire, the want, um, can sometimes be a place of lacking because we think we have to hold on to it or we will lose it. But when we let go of things, it can really create a sense of like release. Just knowing that it's present and it's there for you, when you need it, when you choose it, because choice is powerful. How does that sit?
Yes, I can feel some tears coming here now. It's something
That's
that
great.
is. that I'm seeing something that maybe I don't need to hold on to these emotions. It can come and go as it wants.
Yeah, that's a beautiful awareness. You know, you can even say that as a statement. I choose for my emotions to come and go as they please.
I choose for my emotions to come and go as I please.
If that resonates with you. Yeah.
I don't need to hold on to them. They can live their own life. I don't need to control them. I can just watch them.
Yeah, like a movie in your mind, right? We talk about that sometimes inhibiting. It's like watching a movie. You're the director. You can create a different director's cut, a new outcome. You have that power to be the director. And that's powerful.
Yes, but also when I'm choosing not to be the director, that I just
Sure.
want to see what wants to happen if I don't interfere.
Yeah, I like that. That's guerrilla filmmaking. Just see what happens.
I mean, that is the way reality works.
Yeah.
For instance, I'm not controlling you anyway.
And I'm
I'm
certainly
just,
not controlling you.
no,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, it's a beautiful synergy that you're building. And we're all building with our own bodies and brains and our nervous system when we partner with it and realize that everything works just so beautifully as a beautiful mechanism and machine, you know? We don't always have to see the road ahead to know that there's a road ahead.
And
Sometimes
like I
just,
see now that this pain is that I'm trying to hold on to things too
mm,
much. I don't want them to change. I am afraid what will happen when I let
right.
them go. But I see that when I let them go, I have much more freedom.
Freedom's a good word. Yeah. Well, the uncertainty is sometimes things that are familiar, like I was mentioning earlier, the road that we are more likely to take. That's a deep breath.
That's a new word for me, uncertainty. But I can feel that it's a good word. It's the right word.
Great. Lovely.
I don't have to know so much about what's going on.
No.
I have to. I can trust life. I would
Oh,
like to trust life.
love that. How about that as a statement as we kind of channel this? I choose to trust life.
I would like to trust life,
Okay.
but
You
there
can
is
make this.
some hesitancy.
Yeah.
There is a question: can I trust life? And will that go well?
What if I trust life? What if I trust?
I can see that I have two choices: either work against life or work with life. And the second one seems much more relaxing.
Yeah. Beautiful. Take a deep breath on choosing to trust. Take a deep breath on what you said before that I choose to be still. You know, these are some things you said. I choose to be still.
And
I
also
choose to.
this uncertainty.
And
The-
how about, would it be comfortable to say I'm okay with uncertainty? How would you word it? I don't want to put the words in your mouth. I just want to help you here.
I don't feel really okay with it, but
Okay.
I can see that it's a good way. It's like those less traveled paths that you talked about
Mm.
before.
I'm open to uncertainty.
Yes, definitely.
So you can say that I'm open to uncertainty.
I am open to try uncertainty and see where
Fine.
that leads.
Beautiful. That's a start. Lovely. Take a deep breath in and release. And do that 2 more times. Lovely. And when you're ready, you can relax your hands in your lap, bring awareness back to your breath in the space. You can open your eyes. Welcome back.
Thank you. There was very much more clarity here that I could see
Beautiful.
what's really going on here.
Lovely.
And
that,
I mean the games I'm playing, because I
yeah.
can see that there are games I'm playing to just hold on to for dear life something.
Yeah. I can see how that,
And
I mean, but
and it's exhausting, and it was feels so good to just let go of that.
well, you said some really beautiful words that you were open to, the stillness, the trust, even a little bit fun with the uncertainty, the
Yeah.
excitement of the unknown can be very helpful, but at least that gives you a possibility. Like what will this hold for me if I choose to just be a little more free? You said freedom and you said some really powerful words.
Mm?
Great. Love that. Amazing.
I
Thank
will
you,
just write
Stefan. Thank you.
that down. Those two keywords.
Please
Okay,
do.
thank you very much, Hilary.
Yes, of course. Well, how about that? Can we give him a hand for just being participatory with that and volunteering? Sometimes that's hard to do. Thank you for that. We went a little longer on the demo, but that's bravo. You're getting a lot of claps and bravos and just being open and being present. Thank you, Stefan. That was really beautiful. And I hope that those words that you use and you choose are helping you go forward. And I'd be very interested in seeing how it resonates with you even after this day. I always love when people check in. But on that note, what I would love to do is do a group experience as well, give you all an opportunity to try it. And in doing so, this is just similar to what Stefan did. And Stefan, you can even go deeper if you want to on this, if you bring the same thing up or something different. What I invite you all to do is we know the Havening touch, right? It's like you're washing your hands, giving yourself a gentle hug, or even touching your face. But think of something in your own life right now that is coming to mind and go drop it in the chat. What is it that's coming up for you? Are you tired? Are you overwhelmed? Are you stressed? Are you sleepy? What is a word? And think about it on that scale of 0 to 10, something in the middle. Maybe it's around a 5, a 4 to a 6, because we're not going to go into anything deep, obviously, in group. I want to be mindful of that. So just something that might be irking you or coming up in your life, give it a number and give it a word, give it an emotion and drop it in the chat. Okay, so I'm seeing anxious. Go ahead and just drop the word and the number that you associate with that emotion. So anxious, what would the 7? And that's okay. Yeah, tired, trouble. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I get that. What else we got? Just put some numbers. Okay. That's all right. Rush frustrated. Got it. 6s and 5s and 4s and tired. Okay, so we're going to run through this. We'll do a short havening experience. Yeah, giving up control. These are really powerful, everyone. Thank you for being so open. Yeah, Teresa, I can hear that. Understood. 6s, 7s. So we've got some higher numbers, but this what that is what we call a subjective unit of distress. It's just a scale, an 11-point scale. 0 means you're what I call namaste all day. 10 is off the charts with your emotional dysregulation. So just being mindful of where you are and where you're present right now. Yeah, being a caregiver is hard. Yes. So what I invite you to do is if you're comfortable closing your eyes, then give yourself permission to take yourself somewhere that's peaceful and calming and joyful as you continue to haven. I'm going to guide you through this. And if closing your eyes and visualization is difficult for you, what I invite you to do is maybe soft gaze somewhere in the room or look out a window, or as we do some counting, look around the room and just find different things that you can focus on. The idea is to bring your attention away from what you just put in the chat. Does that make sense? Yeah. So why don't we just take some deep breaths? Bring your awareness to your breath. And if you can come on camera, that's great, just so I can kind of monitor the situation. If not, that's okay. Just remember, this is a safe space. And then what I invite you to do is take note of that word that you just brought up. What is that word? Where you feel it in the body. And just allow it to be present with you for a second. And just maybe put your hands wherever it is that you're feeling it. Is it your chest? Is it your shoulders? Is it your tummy? Allow yourself to be present with it and just let it know, I hear you, I see you, I've got you. Sometimes we just need to say to ourselves, I've got you. How often have we said that to ourselves? When's the last time you hugged it out with yourself, right? And then I invite you to just put that feeling or emotion aside, almost like it's in a safe bassinet or cradle or something next to you, because you're not getting rid of it. You're aware of it, but you're taking your mind somewhere else. Okay? And what I invite you to do in this moment is take a deep breath. You're going to continue the havening touch as I guide you. Give yourself permission to go here. Okay? And just close your eyes. And what I invite you to do is similar to what we did before. Find yourself on the other side of a door or a gate. And on the other side of that gate, if you're able to visualize, bring to mind a place or an experience that you recall being just when you were there, nothing else matters. You know, maybe it's a vacation spot, or maybe it's just resting in your home, or maybe it's the grass under your feet, taking a walk, whatever that might be for you. And again, if it's difficult to imagine a place, I'm just going to count from 1 to 20. And with each number, find something within that experience, or if visualization is difficult or you don't want to go into a space, look around the room or out a window and find one thing with each number I mentioned. So if you're visualizing and say you're at the beach, maybe number 1 is feeling the sand beneath your feet. If you're not able to visualize, maybe it's like, oh, that picture on the wall in front of me, or the pens on my desk, or the cars outside. Every number is a different experience, okay? And let's just start with number 1. Where are you right now? Where are you finding that peace and calm and joy? If the visualization's not comfortable to you, just take your awareness somewhere else. Maybe in the room, maybe outdoors, or just soft gaze it. And then move on to number 2, feeling lighter and calmer, more connected. And 3, don't forget to breathe, my friends. Breath is important. And what's number 4? What do you see that's number 4? Either in your visual space or in your mind's eye, your neural garden, as we call it. And then number 5. What comes to mind as you continue to haven in number 5? Okay. And on number 5, what is a sense that you are aware of? Is there a smell or a taste or a touch or a sound that you associate with that thing, that experience? And move on to number 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. Give yourself permission to just be in stillness. And 10, and maybe bring to mind something else in that number 10 that brings you peace and calm and joy. What would it be for you? Allow yourself to go there. What do you feel or see or taste or touch? And then move on to number 11 and 12 and 13. Beautiful. 14 and 15 and 16. Just feeling the calmness and the ease. 17, 18. Beautiful. 19 and 20. And then on this 20th step, this 20th number rather, just imagine all those things around you, almost like they're enveloping you and you have all those beautiful experiences around you, or what you're seeing or what brings you joy. Or if there's one thing you want to focus on that's just kind of bypasses everything else, just be in that moment. And then what I invite you to do is just do the alphabet like we did before. Just say the alphabet out loud, or you can sing the song, or you can do it in your native tongue, whatever it is. Just go ahead and just recite the alphabet out loud. You're all on mute, so that's okay. If you're in company with other people, maybe do it quietly. Just allow the vagus nerve to activate. Beautiful. And take a deep breath and release. And then what I invite you to do is just as we did before, why don't you just do the months of the year? But start with June. Do June and just say the months of the year going all the way around to June. Beautiful. And when you think of June, think of a color that comes to mind. What does June feel like? What is it like where you are? If it's not your favorite month, maybe pick another month. What is your favorite month? Just embrace it. How does it feel? What is it like on your skin? What does it feel like in the air? What does it smell like? What is your favorite month and how does it resonate with you and your body? Find yourself there as if you're taking yourself on a vacation during that month. And then release. Nice. And yeah, I see some swaying back and forth, very common. Some yawning, very common. And just take another deep breath and release. Take 2 more deep breaths and release. And then you can relax your hands in your lap. And what I'd like for you to do is put in the chat what you're feeling now. What emotion is coming up for you now? And what number would you equate to it? We did that kind of fast, but what number would you equate to the emotion that you have? So if you're feeling more at peace, maybe your number is a 1. If you're feeling centered or stillness, maybe your number is a 2 or a 0. Just put in the chat what you're feeling. So beautiful. More calm at a 4, peaceful, 3. Beautiful. Keep going, my friends. Peaceful, calm, serenity and peace at a 0. Beautiful, calm. Yeah. Amazing. Calm and relaxed, 2 to 3. See how easy it is to partner with that beautiful amygdala and that nervous system of yours? Sleepy, calm, and chill. Oh, yeah, that's a common one. Well, you're releasing all those beautiful delta waves, right? Delta wave deliciousness. Beautiful, everyone. Just imagine like the reason why I have you do that number to begin with and that emotion and then doing a little havening and then seeing where you are now is to see how quickly you can depotentiate, to get all nerdy in neuroscience, your amygdala. You're, depotentiating and just calming and bringing yourself to a more parasympathetic nervous state. And what's beautiful about this is a lot of times when these things happen, when you are depotentiating, you are actually, it's almost like little wire cutters that are cutting the emotion from the body in a way so that it's hard to reattach it, like a cord being cut. And it's very hard for the amygdala to go back to that place in the capacity that it was before. We can feel these feelings again. We can get upset. We can feel dysregulated. But when we're aware of it and we know we have the skill set and the tools, we're able to bring ourselves down to that new neural pathway. Yeah. Stefan, do you have a question?
Yes, I just noticed something. You told me to do like this, but I actually felt that this felt more relaxing.
Totally
to
fine.
just do it on the top. So
Yeah, you could do that.
Is it better if you feel that some variant feels better for us that we do that instead?
That's a great question. I mean, I know people that do it like they're hand washing. I know people that do this as well. Do whatever's most comfortable and soothing to you. This is a soothing touch, and you're self-soothing in whatever way is comfortable to you. Some people don't want to do their face. Some people love their face. I've actually worked with, I have a client who's an amputee, and he doesn't have a right arm, and he will still touch here, but he also does his legs. Like he'll do his legs, and that's comfortable too. We just find that there's more delta waves that are released when we do it, or produced rather, when we do it on our hands, shoulders, and our face. Those are the three areas where so much of the hertz are produced. But if this is more comfortable to you, go for it. Absolutely. Beautiful, everyone. So I just want to share some things with you. We had some really beautiful lower numbers come up. I love that. And if we have some time, we can do some shared experiences too. I want you to think about something, whether it's personal or professional. Think about some things that you're grateful for in your own life. Like just the fact that you showed up for this, that you care about your own personal well-being, that's something to be grateful for. A lot of times we think of gratitude outside of ourselves, and I'm a big component, a big believer that we have to have self-gratitude. It's actually a big part of my Hug It Out method. The G is gratitude for self. So when you think about what are you grateful for personally, professionally, think about that and lean in on that because that's really important for your own emotional well-being. And I do want to share that if anyone is interested, and I know we had some practitioners that had to leave the room a little earlier, but if you are interested, I do have my Pioneer Practitioner program. It's the online training certification for havening techniques. I have one coming up actually August 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th. This is a 4-day half day. So it still gives you the rest of the day or earlier in the day, depending on where you are in the world. But if you are interested, I'm actually offering $200 off if you commit by July 1st. And we can actually have a conversation about that. You can go to hilaryrusso.com training or do the QR code. And if you're interested, I still have some space. I keep my training small and intimate so that people can learn from each other. And this is a really beautiful investment into your own well-being. And if you're in service, if you're already a coach or a practitioner, or you just want to learn for your own personal use in your family, you could do that. And that's pretty much it. I also do have havening happy hours. I will mention that. These are the ones I do every month. And my next one is in July. So you're welcome to join. If you ever go on my website at hilaryrusso.com events, you'll see all my events coming up, including where I'm speaking live, where I'm training, anything that I do in the havening world, but also just in the speaker world or in neuroscience, that is all available to you. And I would love to be able to support any or all of you, if anybody is interested in a certification, that's a big one coming up. And like I said, I still have room for that in August. And it is online, by the way. This one is online. I'm doing an in-person next year. But this one is online. And it's a really beautiful way to bring something that's complementary into your practice that is neuroscience informed. I do want to leave this time open now for any questions. We have a couple of minutes. So if any, oh, thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Kripalu is going to be amazing. That is a yoga retreat center in the Berkshire Mountains of Massachusetts, a very well-known. I'm actually doing the Neuroscience of Touch. I'm not specifically doing a havening training there, but I am doing an event which will be a 3-day retreat in December on site at the campus, and it's going to be really beautiful. And we'll go deeper on that. So I know it's already on the Kripalu site if anyone's interested in being in person, which I always love. Thank you for that. So does anyone have questions? Is anyone interested in asking any questions? Let me see, still have voices repeat. Yeah. Well, sometimes we have these voices, they come up because we have that belief system and it's very common. But the more you do this, the more you're befriending that nervous system and letting your amygdala know it's safe. So, but being present and being aware of that is really important. So that's a good share, Anne. Jen, yes.
I'm sensing similarities to a meditation practice that I have been doing now probably 16 years in.
Yeah.
Befriending our mind, creating new neural pathways.
Mm-hmm.
So I find this interesting. The way with meditation is obviously, if we're in the moment, we can use our breath to calm our nervous system. Yet we're meditating when we're not in the thick of the moment, to shift our relationship with the experience of the frustration or angst. This seems very similar to that. Can you speak a little bit about the parallel?
Can you share with me what the actual question is you have? Because I'm listening to everything you're saying. I just want to be
Okay.
very clear on what is it?
Okay, so like when we're sitting, we're either with ourselves or a client and we're practicing havening. I could see wanting to practice in the moment when we're frustrated or we're having a challenging experience. Yet, similar to meditation, is we're practicing when we're not in that moment. So then when we are triggered, I guess trigger is the word I want, we can, because it's not likely I'm going to start doing this and this and this.
In meditation, you mean?
When I'm in the moment, when I'm triggered, let's say I'm putting meditation to the side.
Right.
I've had a havening practice myself. I'm working with my clients. I know I do this a lot. Maybe under the table. But if you're in the moment, obviously, I guess the question is, so your relationship changes to the trigger because you've been practicing this when you're not triggered. And even though you may want to do this, you're not doing this and this in the moment.
Right. It's when I'm hearing
and tricky question.
I get it.
I'm trying to see the parallel.
So I think I understand what you're saying, and this has come up a lot. When we are in the moment, it's very hard to be like, oh, let me think about self-regulating, right? Because we're in the moment and we're like, I'm triggered. Like the last thing I want to do is think about soothing myself because I'm in my thing, right? And I think a perfect example is using this when people have panic attacks. Which it's so for panic attacks. It really is, because it's not necessarily, you're not being asked, okay, forget about what's going on. It's just the distraction itself paired with the havening touch is pulling you out of like whatever it is that you're in. So a lot of times, like if I'm working with someone, and look, if you're extremely traumatized, it's difficult to down-regulate when you're in a deep trauma. It helps to have the support. So if you're in your own space alone by yourself and you're feeling, the best thing you can do before even thinking about doing the hand motion is, all right, I'm going to look around the room and I'm going to count the things on the wall. And in that, you just start distracting. And already you're going to find yourself down regulating a little bit because you're pulling yourself outside of the thing.
But when you're not alone, that's what, because like for me, I said frustrated with my husband. So when I notice I'm triggered, I can just pause, have the awareness, and just breathe and either walk away or say nothing. But I'm saying, like, what if I didn't have 16 years of experience meditating? And this was my practice. And you're in the moment. Is it that your relationship to the trigger changes because you've already been practicing this so much?
I honestly think that havening is something that could be very impactful and helpful just with never trying it before. Look what we did earlier today. You don't have to have a experience in this to be able to use it effectively. I imagine people have been havening for a very long time before there was even havening, because you're self-soothing. You're self-soothing and you're distracting yourself. Think about a child that falls and gets back up and you grab that child and you say you're okay, and you're stroking their face, and you're like, let's sing a song, and suddenly they fell, they don't even know why they fell half the time, they don't know why they're crying. Similar to that, like imagine the amygdala is that child. It's responding to an experience. You're just changing the way that experience is encoded in the nervous system, in the brain. So like you don't have to be an experienced Havener to be able to work through an upset. You just need, it's awareness in anything. Awareness is always the first step. So if you're sitting there, you're angry and you're really ticked off at your hubby, and trust me, I think we've probably all been upset at somebody in our lives that we love. You could sit there, you like, I love that you're like, I'm just not gonna say anything, I'm gonna back away. But you could sit there with your hand, you could be walking away with your hands in your lap, or you can be just doing this and just take your mind elsewhere in the moment, you know? Part of it is being able to have the awareness
Yeah.
and know that you can change your thoughts, moods, behaviors, and habits. And it takes work, but I mean, I work with 5-year-olds and 85-year-olds, and I've seen changes in them in one session. Or I'll get like a call from like the mom of well, he's now 9 years old, and he's walking around, he's doing the Havening, he's singing his little Disney songs. And I'm like, it becomes a sixth sense after a while, you know? It's just an awareness first, but you have the ability, you know?
Because it's different.
So easy.
Meditation in many ways. And so many of my clients say, I just can't meditate. And this seems simplistic, and you feel it immediately. So
yes, it does have a rapid response. I didn't mention that earlier, but Havening does tend to have to be rapidly responding to what the soothing and the distraction. So when you pair those two together, it's like, it's like, I hate to say magic because it's not magic, it's actually neuroscience, but it's the ability to change the brain and let the brain know. And you know, one person that's always talking about changing the brain is Dr. Daniel Amen, right? Like I'm a preferred partner with them. He sends me a lot of people that he works with after his brain scans, and he'll say all the time, you're changing the brain. And you have the ability to do that. Changing your thoughts, change your life, right? You can't solve the problem with the same thought that created it. So we have to create new thoughts, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And we know that talk therapy works for part of the time, and then all these emotions live in the body, and we've got to do something, move the body, work.
Right.
Right.
It has its place. Psychotherapy, psychopharmacology, if it's necessary, psychosensory. Like we need these ways of well-being, but there's nothing more powerful than the agency of putting putting it back in your own hands, knowing you have the ability to heal with these tools.
And
with
choose. Choice.
And choice.
And that was beautiful how Stefan didn't even go into the room, didn't go into your happy space, yet the distraction with the numbers and it was really powerful.
And that I think is from being experienced in this area. When I noticed, Stefan, that there was a stuckness going into the room, I'm like, we don't need to go in the room. We don't need to go beyond that. I am sensing that's not where we need to go. So it was simple distractions. Simple. You're like, I don't know why we're counting. I don't know why we're doing the alphabet. And then you just did it. And like, there was a shift because the distraction was creating a new pathway that we weren't so connected to what you came into the room with, right? That's the beauty of the work, is that we don't necessarily we're disconnecting from it in a way. And that's the beauty of Havening.
So you're saying the distraction is creating the new neural pathways.
Well, it's a combination.
Trained, right, not to distract, but to be with it.
Well, you're not forgetting about it. The distraction and the positive thoughts are paired with the touch, which the touch is your oxytocin, your serotonin, the dopamine, the GABA, the neurochemicals in the brain we want to produce, rather than the the cortisol, all the other chemicals that that produce when we're stressed. When we start producing the non-stress or the neurochemicals that are, bring us more happiness and joy and excitement and peace and soothing and safety, oxytocin, right? I love calling myself an oxytocin dealer.
Oh, I like that.
I have a t-shirt with that on,
Oh
and
my
and
God.
I've been stopped by a police officer once because he's like, I'm like, no, not OxyContin, oxytocin. Read the words.
Oh, I love your play
Like I'm
on
not a
words and all that.
oh,
It's so cute.
that's part of the fun, right?
Yeah.
That's really part of the fun. So
Yeah.
embracing those things that aren't comfortable, and I'll take it back to what Stefan said. Like, it's not the uncertainty is a little like, that's interesting, but I want to be open to the uncertainty, right? And there were some like aha moments that came in. So it's really, it's not trying to like heal you, treat you, solve it, do like, that's not what it's about. It's about being present, being aware, knowing these things could come up again, but probably weakening the response to them because now you have these tools that can help you in that area and can help you, be kind to your mind, you
Interesting.
know?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions? Love that you're back, Jen. Thank you so much. And love that we have some first timers here as well. Can I answer any more questions? Nope. Okay, we're in pretty good time here. We went an hour hour and 37 minutes. I will say if anyone is interested, again, I do have space in the August training. Would love to have some New Havening folks in the world and support you on that journey. But until then, just stay connected. I'll stay connected with you and be kind to your minds and be well. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
Thank you. Be well.
Be well.